Purdue Pharma, the opioid drug maker owned by the billionaire Sackler family, is reported to be offering between $10 and $12 billion to settle thousands of lawsuits against it. In March, Purdue settled out of court with the state of Oklahoma, and yesterday a judge ordered the drug maker Johnson & Johnson to pay $572 million for its part in fueling Oklahoma's opioid addiction crisis. In a statement, Purdue Pharma say this made clear that it sees little good coming from years of wasteful litigation and appeals. The company says it believes a constructive global resolution is the best path forward and claims it is actively working with state authorities and other plaintiffs to achieve this. I spoke just now to the healthcare attorney Harry Nelson. He is the author of The United States of Opioids, a prescription for liberating a nation in pain. I asked him if the deal Purdue looks to be offering will actually go ahead.
I would describe the offer today by Purdue Pharma and the Sackler family as kind of a first shot over the bow at a global settlement, but I don't expect that the final deal that's actually reached, if there is one reached, will look anything like this one.
So what do you expect it to look like?
I mean, I think this is Purdue Pharma tried to put out its best foot forward in a way that signaled that the Sackler family will no longer have a role in the company, that the family will be putting money in. But I think the numbers are just much lower than what the plaintiff attorneys in these cases are looking for. I think, frankly, that the numbers I've heard cited as to the family and the company could easily be 5 to 10 times what Purdue actually suggested today.
And Harry, even if it is much more money, actually, what's the point? Apart from holding the companies responsible, will it actually help the people still in the grip of this crisis?
You know, the cost of actually addressing the harm caused in the opioid crisis is roughly $500 billion. So it's very nice. You know, another 10 to 12 billion would be literally a drop in the bucket, about 2% of what we need globally to solve this crisis. So there's a lot more work ahead and a lot more money needed to stop the tide of overdose drug deaths, to treat the people who are addicted, and to actually address prevention and prevent this crisis from just getting worse and worse.
And Harry, you make the point in your writing and in your work that in a sense the drug companies lit the fuse under all this, but many other parties are actually responsible.
Yeah, I think that's a very important point. I use that analogy that the drug companies may have struck the match, but they needed to find fuel to burn. And when you look at the multiple points of system failure that led to this crisis, the drug companies may be the worst actor, but they're far from alone with responsibility. And we need to look at federal agencies like the DEA and the FDA that were just asleep at the wheel. We need to look at the complicated way in which physicians are really limited in the amount of time they get to spend with patients in the U.S. insurance system, which leads us to prefer medications. And we need to look at the culture in the United States, which makes the Americans the biggest consumers in the world of narcotic pain medications, far more than any other country.